made it as far as Innsbruck, and the stadium here has absolutely spectacular views, as you can see. We're high up in the tribune in the temporary stand here, and it's just out of this world. You can see the ski jump behind me, you should be able to make that out. And then moving across over in this direction is just breathtaking stuff. So even if the football isn't much to write home about, people should still have a lot to see here. Now, one of the questions down in this part of the world is whether the public is really going to respond to this tournament, because down here it's not really football country. Down here really you're talking about winter sports as the most popular pastimes down here. 1976 the Winter Olympic Games were staged down here, and I'm not sure whether it's really going to feel like a major football tournament while it's on down here. Anyway, we'll see, let's hope so. We now reach the border between Austria and Switzerland. We've just crossed now. We've done all 4 stadiums in Austria, but we're now just coming to Switzerland, where most of the better matches are actually taking place in the first phase. We've got most of the big teams staying in Switzerland, so let's have a look, and we'll see in a few over the next couple of days what the stadiums look like in Switzerland. This is Zurich, a very famous stadium. This is the Letzigrund, and this is obviously more a track and field stadium than it is a football stadium. I think no one would argue with that. Normally, I don't know what you think, normally I really don't like football stadiums with running tracks around them. I think it tends to spoil the atmosphere. Went to games in the old Olympic Stadium in Munich, in Berlin and Stuttgart, and I think you always have the problem where you just don't quite get the full-on football atmosphere. Now here, what they've done is they've added some extra seats at the very front all the way along the ground, and it does mean that on the sides at least the fans are going to be pretty close to the pitch. So I wonder if the atmosphere in fact won't be a problem at this venue. Now this venue is actually pretty striking. It's probably the most striking venue we've seen so far. So, you know, the architect apparently said he wanted to make it look like a shell that had been sunk into the sand, and it is pretty nice, I would say. We're here in Basel. It's a very important stadium. This is where we're going to have the opening match of the tournament between Switzerland and the Czech Republic. Also 2 quarterfinals and the semi-final. This is the biggest venue in Switzerland, and it's the home of FC Basel. This is a very tight ground. Almost feels like an English stadium, I think. You've got the seats nice and close to the pitch, so it should be a fairly interesting atmosphere, I think, during the tournament. Now, one very curious aspect of this stadium is that up there you have what's an old people's home, and they were just telling us that there's an actual there's a box there that they have access to, so the people who are in the home can actually watch matches from there, which is one of the most privileged positions in Euro 2008, I would have thought. So yeah, very interesting little stadium, I think. I'm here in Geneva, home of Servette, and we've reached the end of our stadium tour. This is the 8th and final one we've seen. And everyone who I've spoken to agrees that the Swiss stadiums all look a lot better from a football fan's point of view than the ones in Austria. This is another absolutely fine little stadium for fans. Around about 30,000 I think will be here for when Portugal, Czech Republic and Turkey play their matches here. And this should generate plenty of atmosphere with those teams, I would have thought. Now, just looking back on the tour as a whole, I think we saw in Austria that the stadiums felt a little bit rickety in parts with the temporary stands. The running track around the ground at the Ernst Happel Stadium, for example, might not make it you know, the best stadium we've ever seen for a final. But everyone here, and myself included, absolutely, have been really impressed by the stadiums in Switzerland.